Hey guys, how are you doing? So if you are here again watching this video, that means that you were interested about understand a little bit about the Brazilian culture. This is going to be the last video of this year in my channel, and I would like to talk about something more, like happy, I think. But I decided to finish this year talking a little bit about the safety in my country. Yeah, because I'm going to make a comparison between what happened with me in London with my phone and what happened with me here in Brazil a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, we are going to talk about a very complicated subject. You know how foreigners usually tend to see Brazil and what they come to do here when we talk about how they visit. And we basically have two different point of views. The foreigners that Brazilians call gringos, that think that the Brazil it's like a war zone, super hyper ultra power dangerous, that no one's safe in the country, and other kind of Brazilians that just get excited about how exotic, sorry for my accent, my country is. And some of them are crazy enough to think that it's okay go to visit favelas. First of all, I'd like to say that when we talk about favelas or comunidades, something like that, that means that you're going to talk about poor neighborhood, like very, very poor neighborhood. That is what favelas are. And people that don't have money to live in more safety places, they go to there. But we are talking about a lot of poor people that work harder during the day for a minimum salary and they live together, like a lot of people living in the same space. Like, for example, sometimes they have houses there that are completely unsafe with a bedroom, a kitchen, a room, and maybe like a room with TV. But in that small place you have like 5, 6, 7 people living together. They're basically survivors. I'm proud of them because they don't have a good opportunity, to study and have better jobs, and they have to fight every day to survive. But the worst part about favelas is that you have a lot of criminal people living there, like traficantes, like drug dealers, people that will have like big guns and they will make threats to the citizens. And the favela has some kind of law, the favela law, that basically says that the citizens that live there, they should do what the boss of the traffic, wanted, or they will die. It's a completely unsafe place, and that's not exotic. It's a problem. It's a problem that the government can't solve it, because they should invest more in public safety. They should invest more in public education. My mom, she studied in a public school in the 70s, and she became a doctor. And all her colleagues from school, they used it to be very, very, very poor on the 70s. And all of them had a good education and had the chance to go to great universities, and the most part of them became judges, doctors, lawyers, engineers, university professors. They got good jobs because they had good education. Now the public schools are not good. I know some poor people that live in favela and they do whatever they can to send their kids to private schools, because now a private school is better than a public one in Brazil. So it's a completely unsafe place. It's hard to talk about. The state tried to help a little bit. They send the police to invade the favelas, to, send a lot of drug dealers to jail, but they still didn't solve the problems. And it's not okay a foreigner decided to visit my country. At least that's my opinion. I know that some Brazilians will think different, but I'm talking about my opinion. That's not okay. They visit Brazil to go to visit favelas because they're just helping, the traffic, making now people think that it's cool living in a favela. We are talking about living in a place that's not safe. I mean, like, when a Brazilian open the newspaper, sometimes they read about people that got shot, in a lost bullet that they don't know where it come from, if it was from police, if it was from the criminals that killed someone for mistake. Sometimes the police is like chasing a criminal inside the favela. They exchange bullets, shooting each other, and then some normal citizen that is just living in the favela is hit by the gun. So some foreigners, they think that it's exotic visit Brazil to visit favelas, but that's not cool. Who has like a normal head will think that it's okay visit a place that is dangerous just to see how it is living the poor? Like, that doesn't make sense, because those foreigners wouldn't do that in their own countries, and that's my point of view. And what I can say is that living favelas, it's not exotic. It's a necessity because those citizens, they need to survive, but they don't have options. In general, of course, that you will find exceptions on that. That's a bad point about my country, And another second bad point about what people think about Brazil, it's because I see a lot of foreigners that they think that the whole country is just about favelas, and of course it's not. The country is lovely. You will see a lot of amazing places to visit: São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Porto Alegre, Northeast, Fortaleza, João Pessoa, where I live at, Recife, Natal, with a lot of beaches. It's amazing, and you see a lot of nature, a lot of sunny, a lot of people living their lives, in safe places, of course, and also in the favelas. But it's just a place that people need to live to survive. It's not like a place to go to visit as a tourist, because a favela is not a tourist place, And now they have some people that act working as guides for tourists in favela, because they need to survive. So they're looking like for opportunities, I really hope that in the future my grandkids, see a better situation, and that Brazil don't have to deal with all that violence coming from the favelas. My mom used to say that on the 70s you didn't see all of that, but now it's completely different. And that's one of the points that I was talking about Brazil. The second point is about safety, public safety. I mean, like, Brazilians, they basically are raised knowing that they need to be like paying attention on the streets all the time, because sometimes you were just holding a phone and someone will put a gun in your head to rob your fucking phone. It's just a phone. It's just a thing that I can lost on the train, like I lost in London, But that happens. So Brazilians are basically raised knowing that they need to be more careful on public streets, because we know that the government can protect us. But that doesn't mean that we live like in a jungle. Of course not. It's just a normal place. Bad things can happen in everywhere. Yeah, it can. When I was in London, I was like at 10 p.m. Walking on Alden Gate, and it was just me on the street, and like less than 10 feet in front of me, a guy holding his bags from the supermarket, and from nowhere, I have no idea what happened, someone just bumped him and stolen his bags, and I got super scared. I was like, because until that point I never was like robbed in my whole life, so it was super weird, and that was in London, a place that I thought that it was super safe. and I got super scared. And the guy that was stolen, he started to chase the other one, and when I got in the corner, they just have disappeared, and I didn't see police around. Like, I really didn't see police. Here in my city, João Pessoa, I always see police around the whole city. So, I mean, like, it's very common. For example, when I'm jogging on the beach, I see police officers walking around the beach, you know, paying attention, see if something wrong is happening. So, I basically was raised in a city that is considered violent, but with a lot of police, you know, and I never was robbed until 2 weeks ago. And I was in London, a place that is completely safe. I didn't see police around, and I saw a guy being stolen in front of me. So it was completely weird. What means that no place is completely safe, and you should be careful no matter where you are, because you could just be walking in Alden Gate in London with your bags, and someone just could rob you. And also, you could be like in João Pessoa or in Recife or in Rio, and that also will happen to you. The difference is because here we are raised knowing that we should be more careful. In London, for what I noticed, from my point of view at least, people act like it's okay, everything is normal. Because there, the level of violence is not so high as here. And no, come from a place that's considered third world country and go to there to see poor or violence, it's not okay. It just means that you were raised in a bubble and that you were not around what happened with people around the whole planet. Visit Brazil to dance, to prove the culture, to prove the music, to see the citizens. It's amazing. I have a lovely country. You know, I love to live here in Brazil. I love the sunny. I was freezing on UK all the time. But it's not okay. You just put your life in danger without purpose. Going to a favela just to see how poor the people are that live in there. In my point of view, that's a little bit offensive, you know, because people that are living in the favela, basically they do because they don't have options. They need to deal with that unsafe place. So that doesn't make sense why someone would like to go there just to see how the citizens are living in a poor place. That doesn't make sense. If you want to go to Brazil, visit the touristic places. They have a lot amazing, lovely places. But doesn't make sense. It's like someone just decided to go to a war zone just because he got curious about how it is. You know, see, like, for example, American Army dealing with the pressure every day about bombs. That doesn't make sense, you know? Anyway, I'm sorry if that was a very heavy video, but anyway, I'm just going to finish this video saying that in March, I saw a guy being stolen in front of me, and I got super scared. And I got like, wow, super scared about what I would do if that happened to me. And 2 weeks ago, I was stolen in my city, what never happened before, and I actually hurt my arm, you know, because of that. I was inside my car. What Brazilians tend to think that it's more safe because I could feel protected inside my own car, and the guy just opened the door of my car, put a gun on me, and grabbed my phone. And it really was hurtful, you know, the feeling that I was not safe. It's a thing that Brazilians don't like to talk about because we already have a lot of people thinking that we live in a not safe place. And it's not like a war zone, of course, because I have 33 years. That never happened before with me, you know, but that was harsh to deal with. So that is why I don't like someone going to visit Brazil to see how curious it is living in the poverty or in a violent place like a favela. If you're going to visit Brazil, go to do it because you want to know the culture. Go to do it because you want to see the nature, the food, know the women, know the guys, know their sports. That part is amazing, you know? I love to live here, but I don't like to live in a place that someone can just show up from nothing and just put a gun on me and take my phone. That was really hard, you know? And again, how I said in the beginning of this video, that can happen with everyone. When I was in London, I saw that happening with a guy in front of me, and I got super scared, you know? We know about the terrorist attacks in Europe, so it's probably a thing that is fucking hard to someone from there deal with, you know? So I really hope that this video that I recorded now help people to understand what's okay and what's not okay in the country. And I hope that just help people to understand better about not do something that's going to put their lives in danger, or don't offend Brazilians. Because in my opinion, I tend to feel offended when someone thinks that the whole country is just about favelas, or when someone think that it's exotic go to Brazil just to see how poor people it is that live there, and they think that everyone live in the same condition. I really got a little bit sad with this video, you know, because I was trying to show a point. My point is that if you're going to visit Brazil, don't go to favelas, avoid those places. Put yourself in places that are safe and that are okay to visit. You can go to Rio, you can go to São Paulo, you can go to other cities from south. You know, Florianópolis is amazing. João Pessoa, Recife, Natal, Fortaleza is lovely, you know, on Northeast. Minas Gerais, Belo Horizonte, the Brazil's capital, Brasilia, I really like it, you know. So you can go and see how people really live there. But don't think that it's interesting entering the poor zone just to see how the poor people that don't have other options are living there. You're not helping them. You're just contributing to make people think that he's curious and treat a bad side of my country as a good thing. But the worst part is because you are putting your own self in danger. Don't do it. Go to Brazil to visit the touristic places as a normal touristic person should do in every country, okay? So anyway, just to finish this video, about my phone in London, I lost on the train, and guess what? Like 2 days later, a lady found it and gave me my phone back without charge, nothing. And I got really surprised because I tend to think that wouldn't happen in a lot of countries, in a lot of places, in a lot of cities. So that was the thing that I really liked in London. I felt safe there, you know. And like I said, bad situations can happen in London or in João Pessoa. You just need to be careful, okay? So I hope that you liked this video. Please share with your friends to help people understand more about the country. And see you in the next video. Bye!